And he's like, ah! Hey there, creepy peeps, and welcome to another, I haven't decided which one I want to do. Another movie, no, it's still stale. They're both stale. Stale movie review. I was deciding between two and I didn't realize they were both stale, so I was deciding which one to say. They're both stale, so it doesn't matter. So welcome to another stale movie review. Today, I guess we're gonna talk about Sinister 2. We're talking about Sinister 2, directed by Syrian Foy. Names, people, names. So obviously the story of Sinister 2 follows pretty much not right where, but kind of close to where the first Sinister left off. If you guys aren't familiar with the story, basically there is a demon. Is he a demon? I guess demon would be the only way to describe it. There's a demon named Bughuul? Bughuul? Mugatu? Bughuul. Where's my phone? Shit, I can't see my phone from here. I think it's Bughuul. Hold on. Bughuul. Bughuul. With the B. Bughuul. The Bughuul is a demon that steals or like collects children's souls, pretty much, or just collects children. But the way Bughuul does this is like the children are kind of like possessed almost, and they like make an offering to him by killing their families. And they film them doing this. They film themselves doing this. So there are a bunch of like film reels that get passed around. So and it moves around from houses. So basically what happens is a family will move into a house. They will find the tapes, because like they move into this house and, you know, a murder happened there. Obviously there's usually some news that there was like a horrific murder there. They will find the film reels, they'll watch them, and then the family will move to another house, and that's kind of what triggers this. As soon as they move, hi Daisy, as soon as they move to another location, the child that is the target, I guess, kills the family, and the cycle keeps repeating itself. Another family moves in there, blah, 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 they move, you know, you get it. The first one, if you guys saw that, that's the one with Ethan Hawke. Yeah, it was Ethan Hawke, right? Yeah, whatever. And I thought that one was really good. When I first saw, when I saw that one, it was super creative. I liked especially when Ethan Hawke's character was watching the old film reels that he found. I like the look of them, and like it was just like a silent like old film reel, and it made it like, well, it wasn't like silent, but like it was just like an old home movie, but it just made it that much creepier. Like, one, because like a child is killing their family, so that's already scary. And then like kind of like the first person like old grainy film, like home video type thing, like made it that much creepier. And then of course Bughuul, like if you guys seen pictures of him, he is very creepy in the shadows. As far as the story goes, I will say this, like the story, like the plot is really, to me, like really the only logical way they could have taken it, because they can't just keep repeating the same story. Nobody's gonna watch it, it's gonna get boring. So in the first one, Ethan Hawke's character gets help from a deputy when he is investigating like the murders of the families before, and the families in the videos and stuff like that. So he gets help from a deputy. So that is our protagonist. The deputy is our protagonist in this one, and he is currently working as like a private investigator, and he is tracing like these events. Like he's tracing the events that are similar to these occurrences, like children killing their families or like disappearing and their families are dead and stuff like that. So he's tracing them. So he's finding the houses like in question, like if a family were to move in, then it would start again. So he's finding these houses and like burning them down to try and kind of just like stop it where he can find it occurring, you know? And so of course he meets and gets attached to this single mother and her 2 boys, and they've just moved into a house where of course one of these events happened. It was in like the church that's on the same grounds. And so I liked that dilemma that kind of came up, like he meets his family and they've already moved into the house. So they're kind of like, they've brought themselves into the situation. Now nothing's gonna happen until they move. That's kind of like the rule of this. So it brought up an interesting conflict for me watching it, because it's like, oh, what does he do? Like, knowing this information that he knows, like, if he hears they're gonna move, what is he gonna do? Is he gonna try and stop them? Blah, blah, blah. Or is he gonna let it play out and just burn down that house when it's over? Or is he gonna try and keep them in that house? But then all these scary things keep happening, and would they just keep happening if they didn't move? Like, it brought up interesting questions about like the cycle that this demon perpetuates, I guess. I don't know if any of this is making any sense, but if you guys know the story of Sinister, you guys know what I'm talking about. Sorry if you have no idea. If you've never seen either of these movies, then you're probably confused. So it was the only logical way to take the plot. I just didn't find it as compelling as the first one is all. I don't see another way they could have taken the movie without just regurgitating the same story, so I'm glad they didn't do that. I'm glad they brought some different conflicts and different elements into the story. Unfortunately, just my own personal taste, I just didn't find it as entertaining as the first one is all. One thing I did not like with this movie was the home videos. What I found particularly creepy about the home videos in the first one is that it was just like, you just heard like the clicking of a film reel and maybe a few sounds here and there from the actual footage, but other than that they were mostly silent, and that made it really creepy to me because it's like grainy home video film, and just that, like, you're just kind of relying on the visual. In this one, whenever they break out the movies to watch, they break out a projector and play like creepy music to go with it, and to me that made it like exponentially less creepy. And I feel like the murders were a little more gruesome than the first one, so I feel like they could have been much scarier if they had just kept it that same style and not played any music on top of them. I don't understand the point of pulling out the the music player and playing the music with them. It made it much less scary. So I was a little disappointed in that. I don't understand why they had to do that. It didn't make any sense to me. Okay, so spoilers from this point forward if you haven't seen the movie yet. So basically there are 2 boys in this family. It's the 2 boys and the mother, and they are both aware of the demon Bughuul, and they're both like, you know, they have conversations with these other dead kids who are, you know, kind of egging them on. And there's a conflict throughout the movie. Like, you think it's gonna be the one brother who's kind of a scaredy cat, but he has a lot of motivation to murder his father, especially. So you can see that happening. And then there's the other brother who's a little more violent. He takes after his father and is more violent and seems to enjoy the violence, and he wants to be the one to do this. So it turns out it's the violent kid that goes to murder the family, but the deputy stops it, not before the dad is killed though, and that's the one you want to see dead, because the dad is an a-hole in the movie. That's the one you want to see die. So they at least let him die first, and then the deputy swoops in and saves the other 2. So pretty much this kid's plan is thwarted, and Bughuul, you know, comes for him and punishes him, I suppose, for not completing what he was supposed to do. So it pretty much ends like that. They burn that house down, so ending that cycle there. Not that it would go on anyway, I guess. I feel like that would just end. I don't know. I don't know the logistics of this cycle. But then it ends like the deputy is, where is he? He's like in a hotel room or something like that, and there's this radio playing, and you hear like creepy kids sing like deputy or something like that, like something like we're coming for you deputy, or you're next, or deputy, or something like that. And the very last thing is like the camera just like focusing on this radio, and then Bughuul comes in from the side and is like, it's pretty much like this. Hold on, get a dramatic reenactment. So if you can see my shoulder, it's not scary. So pretend there's a radio there, and it's like deputy, scary children's voices, and then he just comes in and he's like, ah! Just like that, like shaking his head, and it's really dumb, and that's how it ends. So that's how I remember why I wrote the ending was dumb as shit. The ending was dumb as shit. So pretty much, unless we're just gonna keep following this deputy, I don't see where a third one would go at this point. This is another case where I feel like they should have just stopped at the first one. I know it's a money thing. I get that it's a money thing. It's always about the money. If one does well, they always have to make a sequel to make more money. But I wish people would just like let it be, you know? Why can't we just like, you know, quit while we're ahead? I've always been that kind of person. Just quit while you're ahead. Don't beat a dead horse, you know? Overall, it was okay. It was okay. I'll just leave it at that. If you've seen the first one, I mean, go ahead and watch the second one. I'm not gonna not recommend it. It's okay. It's just okay. It's like I said, it's interesting to see the different conflicts they bring into the same story. Because it would be much easier for them to just regurgitate the same storyline, but so thankfully they didn't do that. I would have given it a really terrible review if they had done that. So points for that. If you have seen Sinister 2, let me know in the comment section down below what you thought about it and what you felt about like the Sinister story in general, like from the first one. I thought it was really creative when I saw the first one. Yeah, if you did enjoy the video, please give it a thumbs up and feel free to subscribe to the channel if you'd like to see more of my face and hear more of my voice. And thank you if you are subscribed already. And until next time, stay strange. Bye.